Namaste, and welcome to 50 Shades of Great. Come to your senses with me. I'm Kee McGraw. I'm a doctor of health theology, and as such, I am thrilled to present you with these 50 tools with which you can utilize your senses to bring yourself evermore to your own particular greatness. In this way, healthcare professionals might also be able to utilize these tools in working with your clients as well as your students. You are welcome to continuing education hours for your time spent here, and for those healthcare professionals who are interested in receiving a certificate of completion for the efforts that you're about to make, stay tuned for further details online. Now, initially, as we begin, allow yourself to check in. Notice how it is you're feeling today, what's on your mind, what's in your heart. Consider your own particular purposes for participating in today's offering. And then join me from this space as we bring forward our voices in gratitude to the path with the sound of the path in general, which is Om. Inhale. Hari Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Now let yourself come into a comfortable cross-legged seated position, or sitting in a chair if that's more comfortable for you. In doing so, allow your spine to stay long and neutral, and in this way we can find a nice slow and deep balanced breath. In doing so, exhale with me now. And then inhaling, lengthening through the spine. Exhaling for that same length of time. Inhaling, lengthening through the spine. And exhaling for the same length of time. I'm using my heart to measure our timing. That's 8 heartbeats. And once again like this. Inhale for 8 heartbeats. And exhaling for the same length, contracting within to grow upward through to the crown of the head. Now allow your breath to go to its own rhythm. In doing so, take the focus back within, closing your eyes and sensing the light within the body, behind the closed eyelids. Allow this to represent the divine light of your consciousness. And as such, send a tendril of this light from your consciousness, from the third eye, in the center of the forehead, and yet deep back towards about the level of the ears. Send one tendril of light downward from the center of the brain, through the third eye, right down through the central axis of your body. The yogis refer to this as the Sushumna, that etheric channel within the spinal cord, within the spinal column. Doing so, allow this tendril of light to anchor you into the good Mother Earth, allowing you to be grounded and stable as we make use of our senses in a particular way to bring about truly the greatness that each one of us possesses. Today's tool begins with a consideration of our values. Certainly, as each one of us focuses in our daily life towards the dreams and goals and aspirations that we most would like to embody, we find our way into all kinds of issues and challenges that allow us to strengthen to grow and to evolve. These challenges that we face initially might be experienced as so many hurdles to jump just so that we can find our way to the satisfactory conclusion of one race after the next. But over many cycles throughout the life, we might start to feel the way that these efforts have brought about more of a stress reaction. In this way, we're going to consider exploring our values in such a way that we can change the way that we respond to the stresses that we experience, so that we might be able to be more conscious in choosing what that response will be instead of unconsciously reacting. In this way, we are growing through self-knowledge, recognizing the areas where we have blind spots or pitfalls. We all have particular weaknesses, issues that revisit us from time to time, and as such we'll be making use of those today as we consider how it is that we might change our relationship to these issues that come at us often when we're least expecting it. So in this way, I want you to know that it's been very popular in the media from the 1970s onward to consider stress as an enemy to the body and to the being. And there have been particular studies in which we are aware that certainly extreme stress can be extremely challenging to the body. We also know from the media that there are times when extreme stress is met with extreme measures and an ability to be extremely strong, or gentle, or kind, or forgiving. And as such, we want to bring through a more balanced awareness that stress and the biochemical results from it can be utilized in the direction of strengthening our immune system, in the direction of allowing our heart to be healthier. And in these ways, we can even experience stress as a meaningful component in our own growth and evolution. In fact, we know for sure that the way that humans have evolved over the eons has to do with stresses being placed upon any one particular individual repeatedly until they found their way to make use of their DNA in a new way, to express a new component that was lying dormant deeply within their recessive potentials. And as such, we could even say that none of us would be here if it wasn't for healthy, adaptive responses to stress. And so, while it is absolutely the case that stress that is met with reactivity and unconscious negative programming, this kind of reaction to stress will of course bring about more of itself, attracting more and more negativity and stress to it, even out of a fear of this stress. As such, we're finding that it's also the case that when we choose to experience our stress as a growth opportunity, when we choose to experience our stress as an invitation for us to bring forward something that is of our deep recessive resources, well, what happens is the body responds. If the body is thinking that the stress is going to be okay for us, and it might lead us to being more evolved, or able to grow beyond our present states of limitation, then the body's all in favor, and we're good to go. In this way, having paused for a moment as you've been considering the words I'm saying, you might start to have a sense of the way it is that you have historically responded to stress, perhaps initially with an enthusiastic go-getter attitude, and then over time in a circumstance or through the life process, you might have found your way into ongoing frustrations and an inability to feel that you were able to rise beyond the circumstances you were under. And so you might have come to a place where you started to fatigue and deteriorate in the face of stress. Doing so, allowing yourself to fall into the unconscious patterns of stressful reactivity. You know, that way with then the heart starts pounding and the temperature rises and you start to feel a little sweaty or hot under the collar. This moisture on the palms and inability to say clearly exactly what we'd really like to and wish to. So if you find that you resonate with these awarenesses, you could do well to benefit, as many have, from the following tool that I'd like to present to you. This tool is a very basic 10-minute writing activity. Simply writing for 10 minutes about what you truly value, what you truly find meaningful in your life. This tool is one in which I would ask you to stop and to write for 10 minutes about what you value and what you find truly meaningful in your life. Then once you've done that, you can resume this recording as we conclude together. Now, as you get ready to get your pen and your paper and write, or maybe you'd like to simply open up another area on your computer to write a new document, give yourself a moment to start to shift into that direction, and do so considering some of the things that I find valuable. I find it valuable to be able to learn. I find it tremendously valuable to be able to grow, especially in self-knowledge. I find it valuable to participate with family and friends. I find value in my time spent at home, quietly introspecting, as well as I find tremendous value and meaning in serving and contributing to the planet with my unique skills and gifts. I find it valuable to be able to communicate well and to cooperate with others. I find community membership completely valuable. Joining together with other like-minded individuals or even differently minded individuals who share something of a common community nature. In this way, I find that the earth is completely valuable, having offered us the opportunity to be here, to grow, to learn, and evolve. I find nature completely valuable, and with it all aspects of the natural world. I find health and healthy eating valuable, healthy drinking valuable. In these ways, as I'm bringing through some of the things I value and cherish, it might stimulate for you the particular values that you hold as well. I'm wanting to anchor these values in a statement in which I'm bringing through what is meaningful in my life. Abstractions about what we also value can completely work in your written material as well. For us to value peace, and harmony, and love. For us to value democracy and freedom. For us to value our ability to change. All of these things are abstract, and yet certainly they're something that I value completely, and perhaps you do too, or you would not have found your way here and now. As such, as you take the time to participate in this first tool, you'll be able to write about all the things that you value in your own way. And if some of my values help to spur you on to remembering and reconnecting to yours, then it's worthwhile. It is in this way, as you write for 10 minutes about what you value, what you'll be doing is starting to change how it is that you respond to stress. Studies have shown that when we are facing stress, if we know that we're facing the stress because it is connected to something that we value and that we feel is meaningful, well, we respond to the stress in a positive way that's uplifting. In this way, just imagine for a moment that you're stuck in traffic. Now, I myself have been stuck in traffic, generally living in the Seattle area. And the traffic in Seattle, well, is pretty epic, and so perhaps you have heard of it wherever you are in the world. So sometimes when we're stuck in traffic, we can just feel completely powerless, frustrated, with heart pounding, perspiration beginning, the mouth drying, the palms gripping the steering wheel. If not pounding on it, you know the feeling. And yet, if we feel that we're stuck in that traffic jam because we truly value what we're on our way to do, let's say I have to get to work. And I value my work so much. I know it's truly meaningful. It's exactly what I need to do. It's just the right circumstance for me to do it in. It provides me with just the right amount of financial contribution so that I'm able to continue living my life in the way that I want it to be. In this way, already, that experience of being in the traffic jam changes in terms of how we experience it in our bodies. And that's set on how it is you're thinking about the stressful circumstance. If instead you allowed yourself to think about the circumstance in the same way you always have, you would no doubt result in the same way that you always have. Now, it can be just fine to want to rock out to your favorite tunes instead, or to listen to some of the uplifting material from your favorite news channel. But if you are not getting what you want out of the stressful moment of the traffic jam, you might allow yourself to pause and reflect upon your values and how the present circumstance is related to what you value and find as meaningful. And in doing so, if you can change your reaction to the stress of the kind of traffic we experience in Seattle, truly, you're on your way to growing and evolving in the right direction so that you can help other people, tend to them, befriend them, understand them, having compassion with them, for you too have experienced traffic. In these ways, you can know that your writing on values will have far-reaching positive consequences. You can't see those yet. First we do the writing, then we leave it alone. You don't have to turn to the writing again. You don't have to do anything with it, other than taking the time to allow yourself to bring through your values, to look at that, to examine them, and to stay close to them. Now truly, this one simple tool can change your life right now in a way that has far-reaching consequences. For we know that stress, well, it is a fact of life. It will be going with us forever, and so the sooner we find that we can uplift ourselves in the face of stress, the better off we'll be. And in these ways, all the rest of the remaining 49 tools for you to experience 50 shades of greatness all to yourself, to share with others, is one step already taken. In this way, your values writing will be affecting all the other 49 tools that we experiment with. And as such, may you enjoy it. And now allow yourself to rest onto your back, lying down. And you're welcome to stay as long as it's right for you, so that you might integrate the energy that's been freed up from the use of this one particular tool. And once you've concluded, allow yourself to come back up into the vertical position. Pause to notice the changes that have taken place in your body, mind, and spirit. And as you do so, join me as we offer our voices in gratitude to the path. Inhaling. Hari Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Let's be with the peace that's deep within. Joy Bhagwan. And Namaste. And now welcome to this poetry reading to allow us to deepen in our practices along the usage of our senses, so that we might come to our senses and their highest potential as the saints and mystics and prophets of all times have. In this way, I want to bring through the words of Hafiz, the great Sufi master, in this poem entitled To Build a Swing. You carry all the ingredients to turn your life into a nightmare. Don't mix them. You have all the genius to build a swing in your backyard for God. That sounds like a hell of a lot more fun. So let's start laughing, drawing blueprints, gathering our talented friends. I will help you with my divine lyre and drum. Hafiz will sing 1,000 words you can take into your hands, like golden saws, silver hammers, polished teakwood, strong silk ropes. You carry all the ingredients to turn your existence into joy. Mix them. Mix them. So as we continue along the 50 Shades of Grey, this offers 7 paths worth of ingredients for us to mix and enjoy, to turn our life into exactly the dreams that are in our heart, that are goddess-given in our desire body. And as such, the poems that I bring forward are to help to support us along this undertaking of living in a co-creative alliance with Divine Source.